big news out of Ingersoll today. General Motors announcing it will shut down its Kami assembly plant there starting next month. The facility is expected to remain closed until October, when it will reopen with just one shift. This means about 500 workers will lose their jobs. The workers' union described this development as a, quote, crushing blow to hundreds of working families. Unifor National President Alana Payne said General Motors must do everything it can to mitigate job losses. She also called on all levels of government to support Canadian auto workers and products. Observers are attributing the closure to the impact of U.S. tariffs on Canada's auto industry. And those U.S. tariffs were the topic of discussion at a meeting of the mayors of Ontario's largest municipalities today. Lane Harrison has more on what was discussed.
In terms of how much, we will take whatever the federal and provincial governments want to give us.
Ontario's big city mayors are asking for help, unanimously passing a resolution today asking that municipalities be included in any stimulus package from higher levels of government. In particular, they're looking for money for infrastructure projects.
When you have people who are working in sectors that have been hit, they could well find themselves unemployed. We will have an active and ready labor force. And so if we can get them working on infrastructure projects like roads, bridges, schools, community centers, all of the things that we need in community, that's what we want to do.
Ontario's Ministry of Municipal Affairs didn't respond to a question about the ask. But on the campaign trail this winter, Premier Doug Ford promised hundreds of billions in infrastructure spending to keep people employed. While multiple municipalities in Ontario have used procurement as a weapon in this trade war by limiting their reliance on American suppliers, here in Markham, the city's mayor had a different message today.
And I've been very strong in saying that I would not put any rules in place that would preclude a U.S. company. We have a number of them here in Markham. U.S. foreign direct investment is the largest foreign direct investment that we have. While President Trump is trying to pull jobs back, I don't think we should be doing anything that pushes jobs away.
Messaging that differs from some of his colleagues.
We have to practice what we preach. We can't go and say to all the local restaurants, hey, buy Canadian, and we don't.
But for Markham's part, almost all of its procurement is already Canadian. And in Toronto, the city is still allowing some procurement from subsidiaries of American companies who employ Canadians. Navigating the uncertainty has been complicated for everyone.
I don't think we've ever seen such a consistent level of inconsistency. And so, that really, I think, says it all in terms of how we're trying to react. And to be quite honest, sometimes it's trying to understand what's coming next.
The mayors say their cities will continue working together to deal with whatever it is that's coming next. Lane Harrison, CBC News, Toronto.
The city is moving ahead with a plan to rebuild a Toronto community housing complex that was condemned back in 2022. Around 50 families were forced to relocate from Swansea Mews after a ceiling collapse injuring a person. Well, now 3 years later, a city council committee has approved a proposal to redevelop the complex. Tyler Cheese has the details.
Housing is a right, and like the way we provide healthcare is a right, it requires public investment.
On Thursday, the city's Planning and Housing Committee decided it will recommend that City Council seek federal funding for the initial development proposal to rebuild Swansea Mews. The Toronto Community Housing Complex has sat empty since residents were evacuated almost 3 years ago. At the meeting, City Councillor Gord Perks said he's hopeful the federal funding will come through.
And some people say, oh, the federal government will never do what the City of Toronto is suggesting because it's more expensive to build in the City of Toronto. The price per door here is too high. The facts do not support that.
The proposal outlines the plan to demolish the existing buildings to make way for a new complex. That will replace the 154 rent-geared-to-income units of the original complex, and the city is looking to build another 550 to 700 new units on top of that. Some have questioned why it's taken the city so long to get to this point, but experts say there are a lot of factors at play.
You know, you're dealing with the city councilors, you're dealing with the mayor's office, you're dealing with the chief of police, the fire chief, you're dealing with a variety of different resident groups that all had a voice. And, you know, in these situations, I think you want to make sure that everybody's got a seat at the table.
After the evacuation, residents were told they'll have the right to return at similar rents and similar unit sizes to what they had before. This former resident says he's happy to hear that things are moving ahead.
I definitely think that's a huge step in the right direction. I think a lot of people who are misplaced because of the circumstances will be happy with that, at least knowing that if they choose to come back, they can be in the area that a lot of people grew up in. I mean, a lot of people have been there for decades.
He says the additional units are also good and will help to rebuild the community.
A lot of those people need good neighbors, and they need people that are able to support them and need a sense of community. So I think it's nice that they'll have more people there.
Perk says once funding is secured and shovels are in the ground, it will take about 2 to 3 years before tenants can move in. The proposal will be considered by City Council later this month. Tyler Cheese, CBC News, Toronto.
The City of Toronto is being sued for more than $90 million. In a court filing, 2 companies that built the recently opened St. Lawrence Market North building are alleging they haven't been paid for all of their work. Dale Manukduk has more.
The St. Lawrence Market North building just opened its doors on Saturday, but a legal battle is hovering over the $128 million project, which took nearly a decade to complete. 2 contractors, Butcon Limited and the Atlas Corporation, who built the North building under a joint venture called BHAV, are suing the city for roughly $92 million. In a statement of claim filed on March 12th with the Ontario Superior Court of Justice, BHAV is seeking just over $83 million as restitution for materials and services supplied, or alternatively, for breach of contract. BHAV is also seeking nearly $9 million for additional labor and materials supplied arising from delays and disruptions they say were caused by the city.
Statements of claims are just a lot of allegations.
Jawan Thapar is not involved with the case, but is often called as an expert witness in construction-related court matters.
The joint venture, which apparently started working sometime in 2019, right before COVID started, and signed a lump sum contract for approximately $90 million. Now the statement of claim is asking for equivalent amount, pretty similar amount from City of Toronto, which is astounding.
The contractors are also seeking a lien on the property, which they filed a claim for on February 3rd.
That's pretty much a security a contractor seeks. That a lot of time, I'm not saying City of Toronto will do that, some private projects, owners in these kind of disputes, they end up transferring the title to somebody else, and the dispute becomes now somebody else's problem.
The City of Toronto would not comment on the lawsuit, but at Saturday's grand opening, here's how one city staffer in real estate management described the delayed project.
St. Lawrence Market North building really began in earnest in 2016. We had a few challenges in getting it delivered because of contractor issues and, of course, the pandemic. So there were a few delays along the way, but we're now here to celebrate the opening of the building.
The mayor, who was at the opening, was asked about the suit today.
To all the farmers and all the shoppers, do not worry. It'll remain open. We'll sort everything out in court.
While its statement of defense, the company's allegations have not been tested in court. Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
If you were at the King Street subway station today, you may have noticed some new signs to help riders navigate the transit system, but they weren't put there by the TTC. Instead, an advocacy group put them up in an effort to push the city to upgrade its wayfinding system. Greg Ross explains.
Signs like this one were posted in and around the King Street station this morning. They provided helpful route information as well as directions to platforms and stops. At first glance, they appeared to be legit. They were not.
The signage is up illegally, so we did have to go in and remove it. That did mean that we were taking people away from other duties. There will be a cost associated with that.
While the information may have been accurate, these signs were not official TTC signs, forcing staff to go in and tear them all down. So who is responsible for these signs?
Early this morning, a group of passionate volunteers from TTC riders put up our own improved signs and information to complement the TTC's existing system.
Joe Crave is one of those volunteers from the transit advocacy group TTC Riders. He says the TTC's existing wayfinding system is outdated and lacks consistency.
One of the problems with the TTC is that we have this hodgepodge of signage from multiple different eras with contradicting information. So part of the emphasis for this design was to unify everything together and give a good, clean look that gives people all of the information they need.
I'll put the one over there.
Of course, they didn't expect the TTC to keep their signs up, but they did have an ulterior motive.
The TTC has put together a interim wayfinding strategy, but we need City Council to fund it because because the TTC's current budget for wayfinding is literally $0.
The TTC says it's true. They don't have funding for wayfinding yet, but there's a reason for that.
The strategy is unfunded largely because we don't have any costs around it yet.
TTC staff are in the process of putting together a comprehensive multi-year plan along with a budget to fund it. Later this summer, they will present that plan to the TTC board and City Council.
We will make a very compelling case. We will put forward a comprehensive business case as to what we need to make the wayfinding modern, make it a world standard.
And while they appreciate the support from TTC riders, they say they can do without the makeshift signs.
Some of it was put up with material that is not as easy to just pull off. It also takes staff away from other priorities. It's a bit of an inconvenience, but we understand the point they're trying to make.
Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
It's being hailed as the world's largest pop-up arena, and it's being built right here in our city. And when complete, it will house Cirque du Soleil's latest show. Toronto, the first city in North America to have one of these venues built. Our Nama Weingarten went to check it out.
It's called the Pavilion, quite different than the round Cirque du Soleil tents we're used to seeing. The place will be 75 meters long and 25 meters tall, or about the size of 40 shipping containers or 22 tennis courts. And the whole thing takes 28 days to put together and another 3 weeks to tear apart.
So it's day 19 of building this thing. Can you show us around inside?
Of course.
Let's go. So you're saying this is the largest freestanding arena in the world right now. What does it mean, freestanding?
Freestanding means that here we have anchor plates that's tying down, that's attached actually the tent to the ground. So we don't have a concrete footing.
The show OVO will be playing there next month after previously coming to the city in 2009. It's all about the life of insects, featuring a love story involving a ladybug. But this time around, the show will be different.
We added 3 new acts to the show, which also means new insects, new characters, new costumes, new music.
She says building their own arena allows them to stay longer than if they would have rented a place like the Scotiabank Arena. And it gives them the chance to control where the 2,500 seats are placed, making the experience more immersive.
We have some of our bugs going into the audience and arriving to kind of have that one-on-one interaction.
The venue will also be powered differently this time around.
This is the first time that Cirque will be on shore power, which is city power here, so we're completely diesel-free when it comes to generating power on site, which is nice. It's a lot easier for us to maintain, but also a little bit cleaner for the city of Toronto.
Toronto is the first in North America to have this kind of venue, but it's made its way to China and Brazil before. And for the people working 10-hour days putting this together before the deadline, it means a lot eventually seeing those seats get full.
It's touching people. It's really, we're presenting a show. And we don't know who's coming to watch our show. It can be fans, normal couple, someone that's in terminal phase, who knows? So we need to give our 100% all the time and give everything that we got to give the maximum that we can do.
The OVO show will be running right here from May 1st until June 28th. Nama Weingarten, CBC News, Toronto.
While the Toronto Raptors haven't had the best season in recent years, some good news today for Brampton's very own AJ Lawson. He just inked a 2-year standard NBA contract with the Raps.
He could have been upset, but how about that?
ESPN was first to report the signing. Lawson averaged just under 9 points and 3 rebounds this season. He had a career night back in March against the Washington Wizards, scoring 32 points and grabbing 12 rebounds off the bench. A fun fact, he grew up with fellow Raptor RJ Barrett, playing on the same middle school and high school squads. Now they're making their NBA dreams a reality together. Welcome back. 2 men are lucky to be alive after a violent home invasion in Scarborough. Police say the suspects bound the victims' hands with zip ties and struck one of them with a hammer. Neighbors telling us today the violent incident has them rattled.
I live here for almost more than 20 years ago, and this is the first time that happened. It's a very quiet place, but we are not expecting that this will happen this time.
So scary because this place is so quiet and safe.
Police say several suspects went to the home near McCowan and Finch just after 2 a.m., entering through the back door. They say the suspects had hammers and one of them threatened the victims with a knife. They left the scene with cash and jewelry. The suspects are described as male between the ages of 20 and 30 and wearing dark clothing. One of them is described as speaking with an Indian accent, another described as having a Guyanese accent. It's not clear how many suspects are being sought by police. As CBC spoke to a relative today who said one of the victims is a goldsmith. A preliminary hearing for Frank Stronach's sex crimes trial got underway today in Toronto. The Canadian businessman is facing more than a dozen charges from 13 different women. Lisa Shing reports.
We heard evidence today from one of the two complainants expected to testify in the preliminary hearing for businessman Frank Stronach here at the Ontario Court of Justice in Toronto. Now, the evidence that is given is under a publication ban, so it will not be made public to protect the integrity of the case. But what I can tell you is this morning, Frank arrived with his lawyer, Leora Shemesh. He got out of a black sedan and I tried to ask him some questions. He didn't answer them, but at one point he kind of reached and pushed my microphone gently out of the way, and similar on the way out, didn't answer any of our questions, neither did his lawyer. Now, during the course of the hearing, it was at times emotional. Frank himself, though, didn't have too much of a reaction during all of this, but at points he did look down a few times. Frank Stronach is facing in Toronto alone 11 sex crime charges put forward by 7 complainants, and they range from rape to sex assault to forcible confinement. And the incidents allegedly happened between 1977 and 1990, so they date back decades. In all of this, Frank Stronach, the case of Frank Stronach, it's a high-profile one. He is a billionaire. He founded auto parts giant Magna International back in the 1950s. He has received the Order of Canada and at one point was one of the most influential, powerful business people in the entire country. In Aurora, Ontario, where Magna International is based, there are streets named after him, a recreation center named after him. And a lot of these alleged incidents happened at the time he was CEO of the company. Last year, CBC's The Fifth Estate spoke with one of the complainants who they did not name, and she said it took 35 years to come forward to police, and even after she did, it took another decade or so for police to lay charges, and that was after new allegations surfaced. So a lot of these alleged incidents date back decades. Now there is also another court case going on, another case involving Frank Stronach facing 6 sex crime charges put forward by 6 other complainants in Newmarket, Ontario, and that case is supposed to be back in court in March of next year. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Toronto.
Power is almost fully restored nearly 2 weeks after an ice storm swept across the province. Hydro One says 99.6% of customers now have their power back, with around 7,000 people still waiting. The most affected areas include Bracebridge and Parry Sound. Hydro One says it's been difficult because teams are having to sift through hundreds of broken trees, power lines and poles, and having to use helicopters and boats to access hard-to-reach areas. Over 1 million homes and businesses experienced outages when the ice storm hit last month. All right, time now for a short break. Colette will join us when we get back with your weekend forecast. Stay with us. Colette joins us now with a check on the forecast. And Colette, a pretty gloomy one out there heading into the weekend.
Well, Kelda, yeah, we're kind of waiting for that sun to break through this cloud deck. And boy, it takes a lot of patience because this system has really been hanging on. So I'm starting off with a look at our daylight hours, and there's a reason for it. I mean, more so than usual while I'm going to this, because our sunrise tomorrow, okay, just before 7 a.m. But the sunset tomorrow, our sun is setting at almost 8 p.m. So if we don't get clearing, or we get a little bit of partial clearing late in the day, it still gives us an opportunity that we could see a little bit of blue sky. And we are really going to hang on for it, or have to hang on for it, because we have the better chance of getting into that clearing for Sunday, for that second half of the weekend. That still holds. Hours of daylight, by the way, this time of year, 13 hours and 18 minutes is where we stand now. So daytime highs today, you know where the sunshine was, in southwestern Ontario. Windsor breaking out into sun as the cloud deck moved to the east. For a time there early in the day, London too was into some sunshine. 7 degrees though the high there as the clouds kind of rolled back in again. And for Toronto, 4 degrees. That's it. Normal high for this time of year is around 11, so way below seasonal. And there it is if you look ahead at the modeling here, where that clearing line is. So just that portion of southwestern Ontario, and of course northern Ontario, where the temperatures have been milder because sunshine there as well. But the cloud cover, and even into eastern Ontario, some showers still lingering. Here we go through Saturday morning, get a little bit of it breaking up around the Bruce Peninsula. That carries on. Maybe late day Saturday, 8 p.m. Remember the sunset? We might get some of that sun coming on through before it sets, but Sunday is looking better. I will say that for most of the GTA and eastern Ontario, but I'll point out that the next system is coming in Sunday evening, bringing some showers to southwestern Ontario, and overnight Sunday for Toronto. Overnight temperatures, they will be cooler where there's some clearer skies into southwestern Ontario. Otherwise, we'll be above freezing. 9 degrees the high tomorrow, Sunday. With that sunshine, 12 degrees back, closer to seasonal. It looks pretty good into Monday too, but we're not done with some cooler temperatures as the temps drop again into Tuesday.
All right. Thanks so much, Colette. And that's our show for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night and a great weekend.